辉煌。你是那颗果子？这什么共生法术？我们真的不能离得太远吗？
我跟你走。
哼，明术门的衰败是咎由自取。
但若不尝试就放弃，我不甘心。
Alright, first things first, and thank you, Softstar Technology. Finally, we have the Legend of Sword and Fairy together forever. Well, in case you are unfamiliar with a series of RPGs that's been going on for the past 25 years now, Together Forever over here will finally receive an English release on the PlayStation 4 and 5 in North America, Europe, and Australia this summer. Check it out. To accompany the great news, he also came up with this.
朝廷无能，任凭凶兽肆虐，却束手无策。君临天下，拯救万民。
小玲，救人！
师姐姐，我来助你。看招，鹤舞九天吟。还有。
来了，兄弟，搭把手。好。
照胆，应心，罪责，进谏。
切勿听命，拿下祥云。
他战前辈，
天魔女，还不快快伏法！
Coming up next, we have the Swordman X Survival. Well, this is a martial arts themed survival and crafting game, one that actually set in an open world where you get to make your way all the way to the top. This is actually one of those indie projects in the making that I've been wondering about since reveal. Why, you might ask? Because it does have quite the potential, it looks good, the premise is good too, and there's a lot going on with it. All this thing is lacking right now is a release date, and here is the only trailer, developers of which came out with earlier. Coming up at number 3, we have Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers. Well, an action RPG at its core, actually one that started development last year, heavily inspired by Bloodborne and Sekiro games, and one that you could probably tell takes place in Imperial China in the final years of the Ming Dynasty. Well, you probably couldn't tell that anyway. Take a look. A release date for Wu-Chang, though, is yet to be announced. It is possible that the game releases later this year. We've heard rumors, and once it does, it'll be coming to PCs, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series only. At number 4, it's Black Myth Wukong. What first came our way precisely 2 years ago, and now one of the first games that was announced this year to be using Unreal Engine 5. instead of 4. Black Myth over here, in case you didn't know, is actually the single biggest project in the making out of the whole Eastern region. Specifically, when it comes to action RPGs, the game is set and numerously rumored to be coming out late next year and into the next generation of consoles only, in addition to PCs. Check it out, in case you missed it.
No escape for you.
Great! You are here!
Please be careful, Captain.
Faith of the Enchant Hereafter, which is the sequel to the 2017 original game, well, Faith of the Enchant as well, turn-based game though, well, once again came our way with the news that it'll be coming to pretty much all consoles and due out somewhere between mid to late next year. The new game, as you could probably tell, is built with Unreal Engine 4. It is now also the second biggest game project out of China, and this time around it's gonna be an action role-playing game. Check it out.
Death to all who get in my way.
Already there. The rice fields, the watermill. Everything looked just like you told me.
Coming up next, it's Sengoku Dynasty. Well, in case you missed out, the recently announced IP by the same creators who previously came up with Wild West Dynasty, Medieval Dynasty, etc. You get the point. Sengoku Dynasty, however, we know focuses instead on a more routine-based simulator where you get to partly farm, hunt, battle, and ultimately then survive. On top of that, then even incorporating role-playing and strategy game elements as well. Check it out in case you missed it.
So Dad, please promise me. Promise me that we will survive.
Moving on, we have Hell Sweeper Virtual Reality, what is best described as a roguelike first-person combat simulator. Now, this game actually comes to us from the same developers behind Sirento, another pretty crazy virtual reality game made a while ago. Hell Sweeper, however, we heard will have its pre-alpha demo coming in about a couple of months from now, and eventually in its full releasing on Oculus and PC VR stores late 2022.
When a samurai loses his master, he is required to perform seppuku, ritual suicide. They say we are men of dishonor for not choosing it. They say we are Ronin.
Now, earlier in March this year, we also came across Ronin Samurai Redemption, what was described by its developers to be a story-driven action-adventure game that would be coming to PCs only. Pretty good looking game, it's got potential, I would say, by the looks of it. See, Samurai Redemption is partly even a puzzle game, in addition to all the fights. Other than that, all we know is that it'll be released later this year and into PCs only. Check it out.
Emperor would not send aid. So, the local leaders turn to us. Now, we stand between the innocent and the forces of an ancient evil, using every skill we possess and the cold steel in our hands. To fight in shame to protect the ones we love. This may not be the way of the samurai, but this is the way of the Ronin. To stare into the eyes of the Reaper and say, honor could not claim my life. And neither shall you.
Coming up behind that, it is the spirit of the samurai. A Metroidvania action-adventure game at its core, and one that is set in feudal Japan, where you get to play as a samurai and his cat. See, this spirit of the samurai over here is actually going, or was going through a Kickstarter campaign, which kind of sort of failed. It didn't reach its initial goal. However, there's words that the game is still being developed and coming to PCs only through Steam sometime next year. Check it out.
If you expect to wake up from this nightmare,
See, just over a week ago, the company Old Bit Studio also finally came out with the announcement that Mythology, which is a side-scrolling action RPG they've been cooking for a while, is now on its way to pretty much every single console in addition to PCs and being funded through a Kickstarter campaign. The goal here with this game, however, we believe, as they said, is to make an open-world Metroidvania like the old Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and to be honest, it looks quite impressive. Check it out, make sure to stay tuned for a release date on Mythology. Drake to Yomi actually came our way just a week ago. This game is hands down the single greatest samurai platformer I have ever had hands on. Although it is in black and white, it really captures all the beauty of a nostalgic movie from 7 years ago. It comes with quite the atmosphere, gameplay, visuals, story, and it's damn well worth the $20 price. If you do like samurai movies like Akira Kurosawa or Kobayashi movies, do give this one a shot. Easily a 10 out of 10. Samurai Bringer is also available now on Steam, for PCs obviously, Switch and the PlayStation 4, for the price of only $10. I will tell you this, Samurai Bringer is without a doubt one of the nicest clones I have ever had hands on when it comes to 1 versus 1,000 hack and slashers. If you have ever enjoyed a Samurai Warriors game, specifically the one that came out to the 3DS consoles, you will be way more than happy with this one. Check it out in case you missed it. 9 out of 10.
Defeating samurai and generals will award you with combat scrolls. Combat scrolls contain various combat techniques such as slice, thrust, and jump. You can freely combine combat techniques in the action builder. Stacking multiples of the same technique will increase its power, and you can even add elemental and special attributes to your attacks. Create your own unique movesets. Over 100 legendary brave generals stand in Susanoo's way. Defeating these brave generals will drop useful pieces of armor. When equipping these in the gear builder, Susanoo doesn't just get stronger, his appearance changes as well. But be careful. Upon defeat, Susanoo will lose all the gears you have collected. Prepare for every possible fight and devise battle techniques. Then, defeat the onslaught of samurai, demons, and the fearsome 8-headed serpent, Yamata no Orochi. Hack and slash your way through the battlefields with limitless skill combinations.
Coming up, yes, it's Terracotta, an action-adventure game based on China's Qin dynasty, which ruled some about 10 years or something. You'd probably know that if you've ever played Dynasty Warrior games, I guess. And here you get to witness stuff like the creation of the Great Wall of China and the battles that kind of like took place over there. It's an interesting game in my opinion. It brings back a lot of nostalgia and old school formula with it. Check it out. This game is coming to PCs only around October this year. On the other hand, we have Mythology. Now this is actually a turn-based blend of adventure, deck building, strategy games, kind of. Now story-wise, you get to play as Mythology, which is a samurai mage, like, well, you know, Uesugi Kenshin from Samurai Warrior games. And basically, you will need to protect the kingdom against corruption, something. Here's how the gameplay works. The game itself releases, we're here in about a few months from now on Steam. Moving on, we have the action RPG hybrid Getsu Fumaden Undying Moon. I would say something you would need without a doubt if you're into the other game called Dead Cells. See, this is Konami's newest roguelike hack and slasher, in case you have missed out on the thing, that just released a couple of months ago and it's sitting on Steam with mostly positive reviews as like a $25 price. This game's actually mature rated, it is hardcore stuff, and I don't know, if you like Japanese mythology and art history, this one is probably the one for you.
This is a tale of the masterless and the dishonored, shed by the world and lost to the way of the samurai. They walk their own path.
Coming up behind that, my guy, it's Tale of Ronin. What it says, a game about the human side of a samurai, in which you will live as a Ronin and survive the consequences of your choices in reality. See, the problem with Tale of Ronin is it has been in the making for some like 4 years now. Last time we did hear about the game was actually the news that it's gonna drop in 2021. Didn't happen. Hopefully, I would say we'll hear more about it in the future. Check it out in case you missed it.
Or give theirs for honor. This is a tale of Ronin.
And last but not least, it is Ganryu 2 Akuma Kojiro. That right there, probably one of the most mystifying arcade action adventure games I've seen in the past few months when it comes to classics. It's got an instant playability, easy to pick up and play. Visually, this game at times kind of speaks to you, and it is also way better than its predecessor. The only downside with the game is its frame rate, which it kind of gets really low sometimes. Other than that, it's a pretty good game. You can get it on Steam for $20 right now.